We're hearing a lot about Vernon and that contract, and I don't I don't know what it means. That he had a contract that was guaranteed, that was at 15 million, and then they knocked it down to 13 million. But with incentives, he could make it back up. I don't understand that logic, for one thing. But number two is, if you're getting paid guaranteed, that means they think you're good enough. Why do they have to add money on? Why do they have to add bonuses on when if somebody gets plays better than they thought? I mean, isn't 13 million enough?
Yeah, I mean, I think what the story I read said that he did it, and there were a couple conflicting reports on this today, but the story I read was that he was going to sign for 11 million guaranteed, and then the 2 million was incentives, and maybe that's based on injury because he's missed. Um, yeah, okay, there it is. He'll make 11 million guaranteed. So they can give him the signing bonus, and then everything else, and then everything else is filtered through the salary cap thing. So I think it gives them a little more flexibility now to maybe add a depth player. I don't think that the plan is still to bring in Clowney, not when you've just guaranteed this guy and paid him the money you're paying him as a signing bonus. So I just don't think. I think they've gotten a very clear message from Clowney that he's not interested in signing here.
All right, but it seems to me that if you're guaranteeing money, you're getting paid that money because you're a pretty good player. But now they have the guaranteed money and they throw a couple million in on top of that. So I don't know.
I understand what you're saying. I mean, I do think that he was a guy that suffered from injuries last year. I don't think he had as bad a season as it looks like if you just look at the number of sacks, because I think he ended up with like 3.5 during the whole season, and that's clearly not impressive. But I think they still see a guy that can can really benefit from having Myles Garrett on the other side.
The Clowney thing, I have so many questions about that. There must be something wrong with his attitude, or as you say, that he just doesn't want to be in Cleveland, because everything else adds up. He didn't get the long-term contract offer, at least at this point. I think he still has a couple more teams that are haggling over something. But if there was something wrong with the Cleveland deal, and I'm not sure what it was. Maybe he just didn't want to. Maybe he saw that Cleveland was an ending of a career-ending place to go in the past, and that might have been true.
Well, I do think, though, that when you look at Vernon and Chris Hubbard and guy, I think that opinion has changed a little bit here. Maybe if the past regime was still in place here, and we had the difference of opinion between Dorsey and the analytics guys on that side of, maybe that would have affected some player movement. But I really think that, and I know we've said this before, Les, I really think that they're getting it together in Berea, and I think free agents and people who are here see the talent on this team and see the possibility of them being good, like, pretty quickly.